Kamusta mga kaboxing at welcome sa aking channel. Kung bago lang kayo dito, pakiclick lamang ang subscribe at huwag nyo na rin kalimutan ng bell para laging updated sa mga bagong videos. Sa unang pagkakataon, mga kalaban ni Donaire si Darchinyan na may undefeated record na 28 wins, 0 loss, 22 wins by a knockout. Samantalang ang ating pambato ay may record na 17 wins, 1 loss, 10 wins by a knockout. At kagagaling lamang nito mula sa talo kay Guillermo Rigondao.
24, younger by 7 years, a shade taller than Darchinyan. And unorthodox fighters in the world has never been dropped or hurt or even remotely threatened in the ring. Almost every punch is meant to end the fight or at least break your spirit. His left, dynamite. But in meeting with Nonito Donaire yesterday, he came across as very confident, loose, and incredibly calm. A guy who seemed like he already had the test question.
A taller fighter with a bigger reach. And those are the things that you always wonder, can a Darchinyan, who's a fighter that comes forward, deal with? Donaire's attacking him much more than I expected right at the beginning.
Darchinyan, not a particularly fast starter in general. It'll be interesting to see if he gets right to it here. He did start unusually fast against Nonito's brother Glenn, who incidentally told the younger Nonito that Darchinyan does not hit hard, and you can see the punches coming. Darchinyan's response, he was toying with Glenn that night and didn't punch as hard as he usually does. Ooh, big left uppercut attempt there by Donaire, that missed.
Two things have happened. The right hand is landing for Donaire, but the left is landing by Darchinyan. But I think Nonito Donaire has made Darchinyan think about his power already.
And a wild swing and a miss with the left by Darchinyan. The free-swinging Darchinyan is being tested right out of the gate here by the younger Nonito Donaire, having a very good start to the fight.
Well, you mentioned it. You know, you said Darchinyan's gone through an undefeated career, barely tested. I got to be honest, in the first half of round one, he's been hit more than we've seen in all the fights, and he's getting whacked by Donaire.
He just got hit. That was a shove. He just got hit by a left hand by Nonito Donaire. Donaire comes out blazing here midway through the first round.
Now, the danger in all this is Donaire better not get too brave. His mission is to be a boxer-puncher, even though a powerful one.
Now Darchinyan trying to push Donaire back. Donaire has skills, no question. Straight right hand to the chest. He's versatile, he's patient, calm, and lightning fast, and he can handle pressure. He's got a lot of amateur experience.
Well, in the keys to victory, one of the ones was land the right hand. Donaire's done it repeatedly to both the body and the head here in round one.
Donaire really up on his toes, moving to his left, which is the correct thing to do. And another wild swing and a miss there by Darchinyan. And if he's not careful, he's going to be wide open for a straight right by Donaire. Now Donaire goes to the midsection, but that was blocked by Darchinyan. A spin around move there by Donaire.
You know, Darchinyan's probably lost a few rounds along the way in his pro career, but I don't think he's ever lost one the way he's losing this one.
Donaire said he's very cognizant of Darchinyan's uppercut, but that straight left can really wear you down. Boy, Donaire kind of buckled there moments before. Well, at least tonight, Darchinyan in there with someone who's fought mostly at flyweight and super flyweight. But remember, Darchinyan regularly spars with guys much bigger than him. Darchinyan 28-0 with 22 knockouts.
Now, Darchinyan told us he wanted to use his right hand a lot more in this fight. He's known primarily as a left-handed puncher. So let's see if he tries to throw the right hook and the right uppercut a little more against Donaire.
And the reason for that, because he knows that Donaire is going to be circling to his left to try to get away from his power, the left hand. So he'll try to surprise him with the right. There it is, right there on cue.
You know what I'm surprised at? And it's a good weapon.
Oh, left hand by Donaire. Donaire to the head.
He is landing the jab. Donaire's also landing his left hook pretty well. And of course, that's a good weapon against the southpaw. Donaire not known for that punch. And he's had hand problems with his left. Broke it in his second fight as a pro, and it's been troubling him sometimes in fights since.
Oh, Darchinyan got nailed, and then he came back. Here's a right hand, a miss by Donaire with the left hand. And it is really heating up here in round 2.
Nonito Donaire is making this an interesting fight, but boy, he could make it too interesting for himself, because there are times when he is standing in harm's way of those Darchinyan big punches.
Donaire has to be extremely focused against the awkward, herky-jerky moves of Vic Darchinyan. A lunging left there by Darchinyan.
That was a seminal moment in this fight. A big left hand by Darchinyan, and Donaire counters him with the left hook. This is really turning into an interesting fight here in round 2.
Some pretty good give and take. Good two-way action here in the early going to the IBF flyweight crown.
Outside! Outside, Vic, other way! Other way, Vic!
Well, you know, the interesting thing about this is it's almost as if Darchinyan has stepped up in weight, because Donaire is by trade a 115-pounder. And so we're getting a clue of how things would go for him in the 115-pound division.
Darchinyan missing again with a straight left there.
And Darchinyan's landed some more good straight left hands in this round. He's had a better second round. I don't know if he's winning it, but it's been better.
Well, he's usually a slow starter. I mean, even in fights in which he has been highly combustible later on. Trying to push Donaire back with heavy lefts there is Darchinyan, but Donaire standing his ground, looking tough. Final seconds of round 2 in what is developing into an interesting affair. Well, as we mentioned earlier, back in October.
And now body work by Donaire. Darchinyan's finding the range with the straight left, but the body work by Donaire in this round's been impressive.
You can see the difference in height and reach favoring the young challenger Donaire. Darchinyan certainly has his vulnerabilities, as you can see, looping his punches. As Al pointed out earlier, the defensive lapses, but his unconventional style and his incredible power usually bail him out. And when he straightens out those lefts, the power is compounded, like just now. Now Darchinyan going to the right.
That was a counter left hook a moment ago by Donaire. Every time Vic Darchinyan kind of rushes in, he does get countered by Donaire, and that's an issue for him.
Donaire has more well-rounded skills than Darchinyan. Darchinyan usually just looks for that one punch to end it. He's kind of undisciplined, but it seems to work for him.
Well, you know, Vic Darchinyan changes fighters when they come in the ring, and he's right. Once they've felt his power for the most part, Steve, they change. They can't use their skills. That hasn't happened yet to Nonito Donaire, but there's a good left hand by Darchinyan.
Oftentimes, it's difficult to stay outside box move counter against Darchinyan. You have to sort of get in his chest, push him back, make it messy, hook to the body. But that's easier said than done, because if you get inside and you feel his sting, it's very discouraging.
Now, to Donaire's credit, he has fought this whole fight for the most part at long range, used his jab and stayed there. And Vic has managed to get the straight left hand in from time to time, but I know not as much as he would want. So far, he hasn't hurt Donaire with that punch.
Donaire being extremely calm and patient here, waiting for his moments.
The other thing Donaire did a moment ago was he feinted Darchinyan, and you saw Darchinyan react.
Big straight left hand right on the button by Vic Darchinyan. That nailed Donaire. Oh, there's a good left hand that staggered Darchinyan. Remember, he's never been hurt or dropped in his career. Donaire sensing the moment. Darchinyan battles back. Donaire marching forward. Pacing, it's another hard left hand to the chin by Donaire.
Ironic that a left hook has been the big weapon for Donaire. Surprising.
What a huge finish to round 3 for the challenger. Nonito. Darchinyan's undefeated record at stake as well.
You know, Darchinyan's dad is here to see his fight. Only the second time he's seen his son fight as a pro. He's got to be a little nervous at this point.
Tense moments for Ruben Darchinyan. First trip to the United States.
Owned a gas station in Armenia, and he and Vic have a great relationship. And right now, he's got to be concerned for his son.
A lot of concern in the Darchinyan corner as well, led by trainer Billy Hussein, who's 2-0 with Darchinyan, so he's taking over from former world champion Jeff Fennick.
You know what's interesting about this too now? Darchinyan kind of feels urgency to come forward and make things happen, but when he does, Donaire is counterpunching him so effectively. So it's a tricky situation for Vic Darchinyan right now.
Donaire not quite as aggressive as he was towards the end of the third round. Just tasted a straight left hand from Darchinyan.
Darchinyan's able to get that left in, especially when he uses the jab. I think Vic Darchinyan has not used his jab enough in this fight, Stephen. Were he using it more, it would set up that straight left hand.
You'll notice both eyes red and swollen on Darchinyan right now. Missing wildly with a straight left is Darchinyan. So the eyes are becoming a factor for Darchinyan. And it's early. How will Vic Darchinyan handle adversity? For the moment, it appears as if Donaire is letting him off the hook. Now, that right hand by Donaire was blocked by the left glove of Darchinyan. Straight left hand by Darchinyan to the chest, pushes Donaire back.
Again, the counter left hook by Donaire. You know, the problem with Darchinyan is when he rushes in, defense is not something he remembers much, and Donaire has been able to take advantage of it. Now, there's some roughhouse tactics by Darchinyan. We talked about that before the fight. He likes to rough things up in there, but you can't do it, Steve, when your opponent, who has a big height and reach advantage, stays on the outside.
Nice counter left there by Donaire. Another counter there by Darchinyan, and a spin around move by Donaire. And Eddie Claudio is saying, don't do that.
I kind of thought it was fun.
Works better in basketball.
Yeah, it's true.
Final seconds of the round. And Darchinyan ends it with a straight left.
No lie, we never get nervous, but when we see each other fight, we get nervous.
Calm down. Enjoy the fight. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Back to you, Steve.
Thank you very much, Jim. Boy, he made me nervous. They are two different kinds of fighters. Glenn Donaire, a face-first brawler, and Nonito more of a tactical technician.
And Nonito Donaire has some physical attributes, too, that his brother doesn't have. He's taller, he's got the reach, and he's a little bit bigger. And so all of that is troubling Vic Darchinyan right now.
Darchinyan came in thinking that Nonito was more of a threat, that he was better than Glenn, taking nothing away from Glenn's skills. Round 5 underway, scheduled for 12. IBF flyweight belt on the line. The champion Darchinyan in the black. Struggling a little bit with the challenger in the red, Nonito Donaire. Nice shot to the body there by Donaire.
Exactly, Steve. And the body work Donaire's done over the first 4.5 rounds could pay dividends later in the fight. Donaire thinks he'll own the later rounds. In his last 12-round fight, Donaire against Oscar Andrade won the last 3 rounds dramatically to win that decision. He feels he's going to be the stronger fighter in the later rounds.
And our panel of press row scorers have it as a majority draw after 4 rounds.
I have a 39-37 as Sherman Cain does.
Sherman Cain from the Manchester Journal-Enquirer here in Connecticut. Mark Abrams, 15rounds.com. Jack Obermeyer from Boxing Digest. Coming up to the midway point of round 5.
There's the jab by Nonito Donaire working well. Oh, my!
Look out! Darchinyan down for the first time! Struggling to get to his feet! In terrible shape. It's all over! It's all over! Nonito Donaire has pulled off the monstrous upset in emphatic fashion.